Let me ask you something. You've seen them. The people who drive nice cars, live in beautiful homes, travel whenever they want, and somehow never seem stressed about money. You've wondered what they know that you don't. What's their secret? Is it a higher salary? A lucky investment? A wealthy family? Here's the truth nobody talks about. It's not about what rich people buy. It's about what they refuse to buy. There are 10 specific things that wealthy people figured out a long time ago. Things that look completely normal to spend money on. Things that everyone around you is buying right now, that rich people quietly, consistently, and deliberately avoid. And here's what's wild. Some of these things you're probably spending money on right now, this month, maybe even today. By the end of this video, you'll see your spending habits in a completely different way. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's get into it. The number one thing rich people never waste money on is a brand new car, straight from the dealership. Here's why this is one of the most expensive financial mistakes you can make. The moment you drive a new car off the lot, it loses between 15% and 20% of its value. In the first year alone, that car drops roughly 30% in value. So if you buy a $40,000 car today, in 12 months it's worth about $28,000. You just lost $12,000. And you didn't crash it. You didn't damage it. You simply drove it. Wealthy people understand this. They either buy certified pre-owned vehicles that are 2 to 3 years old, getting the same quality at a fraction of the cost, or they lease strategically for business purposes. What they don't do is pay a premium for the emotional thrill of that new car smell. Here's the mindset shift. A car is a liability, not an asset. It doesn't make you money. It costs you money every single month. Rich people minimize liabilities. They don't dress them up and put a bow on them. This one might sound obvious, but the numbers are shocking. Americans spend over $100 billion on lottery tickets every year. And the people who spend the most on lottery tickets, statistically, are people in the lowest income brackets. The people who can least afford it are betting the most on a 1 in 300 million chance. Wealthy people don't play the lottery, not because they don't like money, obviously they do, but because they understand expected value. For every dollar you put into a lottery ticket, you get back an average of 50 cents. It is mathematically one of the worst investments on the planet. Rich people don't gamble with their wealth. They build systems that grow their money predictably. Index funds, real estate, business equity. These aren't exciting. They don't give you that rush of a scratch ticket, but they work consistently, quietly, over time. The lottery is a tax on people who don't understand math. Wealthy people understood that early and never looked back. Here's something that will completely change how you see wealthy people. Rich people are obsessed with not overpaying, not because they can't afford it, but because paying full price when you don't have to is simply bad business. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, is famous for clipping coupons, eating at McDonald's, and driving a modest car. He negotiates everything. He waits for sales. He finds value where others don't look. Wealthy people understand one thing deeply. Every dollar you overspend is a dollar that could be compounding in an investment. Paying an extra $200 for something because you didn't shop around doesn't feel like much today, but $200 invested monthly over 20 years at 8% return is over $118,000. That's the real cost of laziness and spending. Rich people use cashback credit cards and pay them off monthly. They negotiate bills, subscriptions, and services. They buy quality items on sale rather than mediocre items at full price. They are deliberate with every dollar, not because they're cheap, but because they're smart. Walk into any wealthy person's closet and you'll notice something surprising. It's not overflowing. It's not full of the latest trends. What you'll find instead is a small collection of high-quality, timeless pieces that look good every single year, not just this season. Rich people don't follow fashion trends. They build a personal style. There's a massive difference. Fast fashion is one of the most expensive traps in modern spending. A $30 shirt that falls apart in 6 months costs more over a lifetime than a $120 shirt that lasts 10 years. Not to mention the psychological cost. Constantly chasing trends means you're always spending, always feeling behind, always needing the next thing. Wealthy people buy less, but buy better. They invest in classics, a well-made suit, quality shoes, timeless basics, and they wear them for years. They don't dress to impress strangers. They dress to feel confident and move on with their day. The fashion industry is designed to make you feel like what you have is never enough. Rich people opted out of that game a long time ago. This one is everywhere, and almost nobody talks about it. Every time you buy an appliance, an electronic device, or a piece of technology, the salesperson pushes an extended warranty. It feels safe. It feels responsible. It feels like the smart thing to do. It's almost never worth it. Consumer research consistently shows that extended warranties are one of the highest profit margin products in retail, which means they are one of the worst deals for consumers. Products rarely break in the window that the warranty covers. And when they do, the cost of repair is often less than what you paid for the warranty. Wealthy people self-insure. Instead of paying for dozens of individual warranties, they keep an emergency fund specifically for unexpected repairs and replacements. This is almost always cheaper in the long run. Every time you're offered an extended warranty, ask yourself, who is this really benefiting? The answer is almost always the store, not you. Here is one of the quietest ways money gets stolen from regular people every single month. Bank fees, monthly maintenance fees, ATM fees, overdraft fees, minimum balance fees. These fees seem small, $5 here, $15 there. But Americans pay over $17 billion in overdraft fees alone every year. Billions of dollars flowing from regular people directly into bank profits. Wealthy people pay zero bank fees, not because they have special accounts, but because they actively chose banks and credit unions that don't charge them. High-yield savings accounts, online banks with no fees. They read the fine print, and they refuse to accept unnecessary charges. If you are paying monthly bank fees right now, that is money leaving your pocket every single month for absolutely nothing in return. Rich people eliminated this years ago. You can too. Today, by switching to a no-fee account. Small leaks sink big ships. Bank fees are a small leak that costs thousands over a lifetime. Be honest with yourself for a moment. How many subscriptions are coming out of your account every month that you barely use? Streaming services, gym memberships, apps, meal kits, music platforms, magazine subscriptions, cloud storage upgrades. The average American pays for 12 subscriptions per month and actively uses fewer than half of them. That's money leaving your account automatically, silently, every single month. While you sleep, wealthy people audit their subscriptions regularly. They treat every recurring charge as a question. Is this still worth it? Am I using this? Does this improve my life enough to justify the cost? Subscriptions are designed to be forgettable. Companies make them easy to sign up for and painful to cancel on purpose. They count on your inertia. The fact that you won't bother to cancel because it's just a few dollars. But $50 a month in unused subscriptions is $600 a year. Invested over 10 years at 8%. That's over $8,700. Gone. For nothing. Go through your bank statements tonight. Cancel everything you haven't used in the last 30 days. Rich people do this. It takes 20 minutes and it pays forever. This is not about never enjoying a restaurant. Rich people enjoy incredible dining experiences. This is about the daily, mindless, convenience-driven, eating out that drains hundreds of dollars every month without a second thought. The average American spends over $3,000 per year eating out. Not at nice restaurants, but at fast food chains, coffee shops, and delivery apps out of pure convenience. That's not enjoyment. That's laziness with a price tag. Wealthy people are intentional about food spending. They meal prep. They cook at home most of the time. They save dining out for experiences they genuinely enjoy, not for Tuesday lunch because they didn't feel like making a sandwich. Here's the math. Cutting $10 a day in unnecessary food spending saves $3,650 a year. Invested over 20 years at 8%. Return, that's over $180,000. One habit, one decision, $180,000. Rich people see food spending as a system to optimize, not a daily emotional decision. This one is the most financially devastating thing on this list. Payday loans charge interest rates of 300% to 400% per year. That is not a typo. If you borrow $500 today, you might owe $700 in 2 weeks. And if you can't pay it back, which most people can't, you roll it over. And the trap gets deeper. Wealthy people never touch high-interest debt, ever. They understand that paying 25% interest on a credit card balance, or 300% on a payday loan is the single fastest way to destroy any chance of building wealth. Every dollar you pay in high interest fees is a dollar that works against you instead of for you. It's the exact opposite of compound interest. It's compound destruction. If you are currently carrying high interest debt, eliminating it is the highest guaranteed return on investment available to you. Paying off a 25% interest credit card is a guaranteed 25% return, better than almost any investment on the market. Rich people stay completely away from financial products designed to trap people. They read the terms, they understand the math, and they say no. This last one isn't something you buy at a store, but it might be the most expensive thing on this entire list. Wealthy people do not spend money trying to impress people they don't care about. They don't buy the expensive watch to show coworkers they're successful. They don't upgrade to a bigger house because their neighbor did. They don't buy designer bags to signal status at a party. They don't order the most expensive thing on the menu to seem impressive on a date. This is called keeping up with the Joneses, and it is one of the most powerful wealth destroyers in existence. Because there is no finish line. The Joneses always have something newer, bigger, shinier. If your spending is driven by external validation, you will spend forever and never feel like enough. Research on wealthy individuals consistently shows the same pattern. They are remarkably unbothered by what others think of their spending. They drive modest cars in expensive neighborhoods. They wear simple clothes to expensive events. They find deep satisfaction from their net worth, not from what their net worth looks like to strangers. The most expensive thing in the world is caring what other people think. Rich people stopped paying that price. And the day you stop paying it too, everything changes. So there you have it. 10 things rich people never spend money on. Brand new cars, lottery tickets, full price on anything, trendy fast fashion, extended warranties, bank fees, and used subscriptions, mindless eating out, high interest debt, and other people's opinions. None of these are dramatic. None of them require a six-figure salary to fix. Every single one of them is a decision you can make starting today. Here's what I want you to understand. Wealth is not built in one big moment. It's built in 1,000 small decisions, the things you choose not to buy, the fees you refuse to pay, the traps you learn to see before you fall into them. The difference between where you are and where you want to be financially is almost never about how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you already have. You now know what rich people avoid. The question is, are you going to keep spending like everyone else? Or are you going to start thinking differently? If this video gave you value, subscribe to Rich Life and Finance. Every single week, we break down exactly how wealth works, so you can start building yours. I'll see you in the next one.